All right, so today we're gonna run through a full shoulder day because why the hell not? Sets and reps are gonna be in the description, and don't you go dying on me now. All right, so we're starting out with a cable variation of rear delts because I don't care how screwed up you are, there's gonna be some angles, some paths, some variation that you can do that's gonna be predominantly rear delts. Keep those secondary muscles out of it, specifically those traps. And it's a pretty safe bet to assume that most people are not gonna have overdeveloped rear delts. So it's a good place to start. But the thing I want you to be aware of is your posterior delts are finicky assholes. Sometimes you'll walk in the gym and have incredible connection by tilting forward, doing partial reps towards the initial part of the contraction. Next time you walk in to do shoulders, nothing. It's all traps, it's in your neck, you feel like you're stroking out. At that point, don't just put your head down and try to grind your way through it. What I would do is actually go to the extreme other end of the spectrum, grab a little bit of an incline bench and do partial reps, but towards the finishing part of the contraction and see how you connect with that. You're gonna find something you connect with better. Don't just force your way through it because the one way you can halt progress altogether is by continuing to do something you don't connect with. I could just title this "Don't be a prick," or the politically correct way of saying it, "Don't be stubborn," because even when I set up to do side laterals, traditionally I like to do that nice long arm coming out to the side, put as much pressure on that lateral head as possible by really extending that dumbbell out nice and far. But today, all trap. So instead I opted for a variation that really mimics a machine lateral raise, because if you have one of these at your gym, you know it's a great piece of equipment because it's really easy to be connected to that lateral head the entire time, keeps out of your traps. So we can mimic that same exercise on dumbbells by actually keeping arms in a fixed 90-degree position and using the rotation of your wrist to really create that same movement. So as you come up, you pronate those hands towards the floor and make sure, a couple things here, make sure that your elbow is the highest point. If your hand comes up too high, it's gonna jump in those anterior delts. If you keep it nice and low, right below that elbow, it's gonna be all that lateral head. And the second thing is make sure you don't pinch those shoulder blades back. If you do, it's gonna be all traps. You're gonna screw yourself at that point. So make sure you push those shoulders forward and you keep that nice clean motion. Hands are lower than your elbows. You're good to go. All right, so we're finishing off with a hybrid of a press and a front raise. And I love this exercise for anybody who has any sort of shoulder inflexibility, because over the years I've had people come in and usually have a little bit of anterior delt development, but the way they develop it is by doing traditional presses and they're becoming parallel to the floor. So that anterior delt gets no stretch whatsoever. So with these, we're gonna really exaggerate it. So what I want you to do is keep that elbow in a fixed position, 90 degrees. As you come up, you're gonna flex it up, keep that same position, but at the very top, you extend it up, finish that flex off. I'm sure you've seen these before. It's a great exercise. But in the negative portion, this is where you got to really exaggerate it, because most people will just do that and sit there and lean forward. That's not the best part of it. The best part of it and the most beneficial part is as you're coming down, you're really forcing that stretch. So even pull it in towards you even more, pull it back towards your body, stretch that anterior delt, and then flex over top of it from there. Get that little extension at the top to really complete the contraction. But again, it's all about that stretch. So as always, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment for the video you want next, get after it, get growing. Talk to you soon.